So welcome everyone. So once again, we have a small container, so we will get cozy. We will just get between each other. And before we begin, I would love to know, any of you have feedback about yesterday? Any of you have played along, have played with the challenge and started to play with that idea of introducing a new activity in your life, something that will bring new goodness and allow you to improve your relationship with yourself. So it's not a trick question. If none of you have carved out the time to play with that, no worries. You won't get any blame. You won't get any rolling eyes. I will still love you no matter what. But if one of you was able to figure out that time and play with it, I would love to have some feedback. If not, we will just move on. No worries. Caroline?
Yeah, so Kevin, I didn't fully do my full robust delve into it, but I actually did think of like, what else could I include into my life? And there's something I've thought about for quite a while, and I've thought about it for other people, and I'm like, why not me? And it is to do this glass blowing. I've never done glass blowing before, and I just find it fascinating. So that's gonna be my new thing. So thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah, you're
further,
very
I
welcome.
look forward to delving in further into to fully put all my, more time into it. So thank you.
You're so very welcome, and it's a fascinating activity. I love that you picked that one. It's a very, very special, extremely technical one, and I'm sure it will help you grow in immense ways. You absolutely have no idea. So that's fantastic. And
thank you.
Folks, I have good news for you. If you feel like you have a hard time stepping into that and starting a new activity just by yourself, that's exactly why we will have a WhatsApp group, a pop-up WhatsApp group for this week to help you find backup, to help you find help, find accountability partners, find support to help you in this new journey. If you want to play, once again, no pressure. It's your life. You do you. You decide. You decide if you want to stay in your comfort zone, or you decide if you would like to invite new goodness into your life and stretch a little bit with help and care and love. But you decide. That's your life. Anyone else would like to share before we start?
Yeah, for me, so I was watching the replay because, like yesterday it was for me it would be a little bit short sleep because I wake up this morning just before 4 o'clock to join the monthly meeting, and I didn't have time for the nap. But I watched the replay, and then I was just getting from an old client turned friend and call for a coffee, and after I watched most part of the replay, and it's not totally new, but reintroduced again. So I start with him to practice our daily Qigong. So in the morning. So I start my day with right away after my alarm go, 5 a.m. For meditation. And no, I don't belong to the 5 a.m. club. I just need to get up 5 a.m. Otherwise, I have no time to do all the activities before I start going to the gym. And so yeah, now I was postponing it every time to start because here you have the burning season and then the air is terrible. So Qigong on then deep inhale and standing in a view with a nice garden. You need to have a mask on to get some clean air. But okay, now it is all fine. And I gave him a call. I said, so let's start today. I see you Thursday for coffee. And then we can sometimes put Zoom or the WhatsApp video on so that we can see that we are busy from the corner of our eye because he also get up early. So yeah, that is my first new thing that I implement. Or
I love that you picked Qigong. It's one of my absolute favorites. I discovered Qigong 2.5 years ago, and it had been an incredible game changer. And I know like that word game changer tends to be overused, right? But I mean it. For me, it has been deeply, extremely game changing. So it doesn't mean it will be the case for everyone, right? But if you've never tried Qigong, I would invite actually all of you, just give it a try once and see what happens. To me, it was instant love. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, and I know that you also meditate. So from meditation can be powerful, and depending what type of meditation you do, but meditation can be changing in mind. But Qigong, I was introduced to it with a multi-level marketing event in KL, and there was a Chinese older guy that after he sold his part of the business was getting totally in a health change in his life, was losing weight, and now with how old he was, 73, he was looking amazing. He was looking better than with 50 when he stopped. And then we had let's say an after-hour event that we were coming with a little group together, and I was sitting with him on the table, and then he was doing some Qigong exercise, and with his hand put the energy, and I see, do you feel the heat? And I was at first a little bit skeptical from what, and he said, oh, wait a moment, you're pretty powerful, I will recharge. And then he go again with his hand, and I had to pull away, right? Yeah, I didn't expect that it would be so warm. So he was really going from, oh, what was that? I don't say that he was burning me, but I was just more than I expected. Yeah, that was my first introduction to Qigong, but not practice yet, just an experience.
I love that, and yeah, so we will start now, but let's continue this conversation later, maybe actually on Thursday for the networking event. But yeah, so folks, if you've never tried Qigong, if you've never heard about Qigong, look it up. It's extremely powerful. So thank you so much, Tommy, for your share. I'm so glad that you're a Qigong buddy to me. And yeah, Augusta, we have to speak about dance and martial arts as well. So you'll see, and that's the point, right? The idea is to connect other hobbies and activities and passions. So this will be part of this journey. Actually, we will go much beyond. So hopefully all of you already have watched yesterday's recording, or even better, you've been live with us. If you couldn't, if you didn't know, I will do a very quick sum up. So I am Kevin Moreau, aka Mr. Mingle. You should know that by now. So we'll just go very quick. And so social alchemy is the overall theme of this challenge and the masterclass I hosted a few weeks ago. And it's really a super connectedness, just not with other people, not just with connections, but also with friends and with yourself, and really creating something extremely powerful, a synergy between all three layers, and going beyond only having a balanced social life, but really having a thriving social life all around, and tapping into innate superpowers you have and you might have never realized before, and both create a wonderful personal life thanks to your social life and also professional life. So that's the idea beyond. I know it sounds too good to be true, I know, but believe me, it's working. At least for me, it's working like pure magic. So I want you to have a taste of this magic in your life. And so basically that's the idea. To me, really is to go from having at the very least a balanced social life, which already would be a massive win for most people in my book, to really creating a powerful synergy and really tapping into those social alchemy superpowers. And really for me, it's like having those ingredients, different ingredients, and boom, creating actually a real cake and enjoying the cake. And yeah, you know what? Let's marry the baker while we're at it, because why not? So that's really how I see social alchemy. And more than that, it's how I live social alchemy. And it's how I guide my clients through that concept, through social alchemy. So that's what I want you to have, and don't worry. So it's all of that is all free. This challenge is all available for you for free. And right now, so today we will play with friends. We will go beyond with friends. And we will play with a concept that I call the connection wheel. And I see it as a ball cake. I'm a baker, right? So that's why I have so many analogies with baking and in cakes. I love cakes and I bake cakes. And that connection wheel, I will give you the very, very short version of it. So there's a whole concept on how to improve your relationships with others. And right now, we will just focus on going from the chocolate crust of curiosity and really going deep with that so we can enjoy the gooey, yummy caramel heart of trust and really improving your relationship with your friends and building trust with them on different sides. How do you like that idea so far? How would you like to improve the quality, not necessarily the quantity, but the quality of the relationships with your friends? How does it sound? How does it taste, actually, in this case? So I see nods, I see hearts, so I guess it's good. And hopefully you've downloaded this this mini guide, not necessarily printed it, but at least downloading it. So this guide I released a few days ago, actually. It's still very fresh out of the oven. And this guide is meant, first and foremost, for networking. It's really to improve your networking skills as a solopreneur or as an entrepreneur, and especially for misfits, really to have unconventional strategies. And guess what? This guide can also help you on the friendship side of things. So you can tweak several of these tips, tactics, or strategies to also help you on the friendship side of things. And plus, you have a cute, weird co, which I nicknamed Moomy. So yeah, you even have a weird co in the mix. So hope you enjoyed Moomy. So the idea was for you to discover that ask, listen, and tease tactic that I share for networking and apply that for your friends. And that one actually is based on something that hopefully you already do naturally. Asking questions, asking deep, meaningful questions, because you should be interested in who your friends are and what they care about. Hopefully you do. And if you don't, you might want to change that. Please get some healthy interest into your friends, because they're begging you for that. Because I suppose you enjoy when your friends are interested in you. I suppose you like that when your friends ask you questions. How are you doing? What do you like? What do you enjoy the most, etc. And once you've asked those deep, meaningful questions, listen deeply and genuinely, and hopefully remember what they are telling you. Because some people could go very upset if they are sharing very intimate, very personal details of their lives, something that are very important for you. And weeks later, you can't even remember that. Some people might get upset, which I feel could be understandable. No, on the other side, if months or years later, you are able to recall important things they share with you, it will deeply improve your relationship. Does it make sense so far? Yeah, I see nuts. I like that. And so the last part of this tactic is it's more about the professional networking. That one can be interesting as well for your friends, but it's not necessarily the point here. So hopefully you have your fun book. So there were only 2 pages on the fun book. So it's really like the second part of the fun book. And the idea is really to start playing with those new paths. The idea is really to explore or either ways to go deeper with your friend and improve what you already know and go deeper into the relationship you already built, or actually go off tracks and explore something very new. And hopefully you've watched the video I shared about that, how to start playing with that. And intentionally, I didn't give you too much guidance, so you could come up with your own ideas and your own ways to play with that. Now, I will do you a favor. I will give you a few ideas how to play with that. So a few examples how to play with that. And before we start, I'm curious, any of you have started playing with that by yourself? Most probably not. Most probably it was a little bit too tight on time, but who knows? Maybe one of you, if you have and would like to share, I would love for you to raise your hand. But once again, I don't expect you to do so. So no worries. I don't see any hand raised, so no worries at all. So for hopefully you will do that after this call. So a few ideas to play with that. You could start creating new path in your relationship with that friend. So you could go and ask a question like, what appealed to you about exploring, let's say, Qigong, like Tommy shared Qigong, or Tara Lynn shared about glass blowing. What appealed to you about exploring Qigong or glass blowing in the first place? And who introduced you to it? And really starting to go deeper in that specific topic, understand the context and understand the backstory, and go one layer deeper and maybe even 7 layers deeper if you want to play with that. I shared with you that 7-layer deep strategy yesterday. Another idea, do you have any friends or connections who might be interested in glass blowing or Qigong as well? How about we invite them next time? Another idea, what made you choose this professional path? Let's say Tommy is a Qigong master, or Tara Lynn is a glass blowing teacher. What made you choose this uncommon path? Is there a personal story behind it? I'd love to know about it if you're okay to share. But like some professional path might be into something quite intimate, so you obviously want to ask if they are okay to share. Does it make sense, those different ideas to go deeper in a relationship? Do you see how it could be helpful for you to go deeper into your own relationships? So you will play with that on your own, hopefully with an accountability partner, but I like to see that I see some seeds starting to grow in your minds, so I really appreciate seeing smiles and nods. Thank you for sharing. Now, you could go actually in something different, something you've never explored before with that friend. So it could be like, do you have any passions you've never shared with me before? Something that I would never imagine. Like yesterday I shared, when I started dance, I was still kind of ashamed of being a role-playing gamer, because at that time it was kind of hush-hush. It was kind of not dangerous, but there was a stigma around role-playing games at that time. So I was hiding that side of me. So many people I met through my dance experience, they had no idea I was a geek and I was into role-playing games and that kind of stuff. So and if someone asks such a question, I might have considered sharing that with them. Does it make sense? Like maybe you have some kinks, maybe you have some special interests that you feel, hey, you know what? Most people most probably won't be open to that. And actually, you never know. Maybe actually there are many people that would love for you to share your passion for ukulele, for BDSM, for whatever, something that might not be so common, but actually you'd never know. A kink is a kink. As long as it's legal, Most probably that's okay, right? And now, do you think I might enjoy them and why? You might want to follow up, right? Another one, have you ever considered trying other activities somewhat linked to shared activity? Let's say glass blowing, right? Why not connecting it with crochet, knitting, which is another craft, not directly linked to glass blowing, but actually if you're into glass blowing, crochet is not so far away. Does it make sense? It's kind of aside, but there's kind of a connection. So if you enjoy glass blowing, there is a chance you might enjoy knitting as well, or maybe not, but I feel it might be worth asking and maybe sharing something new around that. And another idea, and that one would be like, okay, if you really feel the relationship is ripe enough, what is your wildest fancy, your wildest kink, something you never dared to consider doing for real? You always hold yourself back about that one. And if you feel it's okay, and if you'd like to join that person, how about we try it next month? Why, life is short. Why holding yourself back? One of my role models is Sir Richard Branson. And you probably know his most famous quote, "Screw it, let's do it. Life is way too short. Why wait until you retire? Why wait until the culture around you, the society around you gives you a green light and tells you, sure, now you can do." I used to shy away from my geekiness and from being a fan of Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games. Fortunately, I didn't wait until The Lord of the Rings was released on movie theater, and it started to become acceptable on a big scale to be into those things. I never waited for that, fortunately, right? And I still was kind of shying away and not sharing that with everyone. So I don't know if it makes sense to you. So it's an invitation for you to step into your fancies and actually explore fancies of your friends if they are okay with that, if they are okay with sharing. Let's stop for a moment. I would love for you if you have any comments, any questions so far. No one? Herbert?
Maybe I can say a few words. Hi.
Of course, please.
Hi, my name is Herbert. This is my first time of joining. Actually, I just saw on LinkedIn this afternoon your advertisement, and I thought, well, maybe I should try it. I work alone at home. I don't have colleagues, so quite number of days go without me talking to people outside my immediate family. And so that's due to my work situation. But I also, post-COVID, didn't think making friends online or belonging to online community was the right way to go. So I haven't done that until now. So this is really new experience for me. And I don't know what to expect yet, but I'm enjoying at least your commentary so far. So thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for your words, Herbert, and welcome. I'm so glad that you joined, and I love that. See, that's exactly that. You had an opportunity in front of you, and you decided to jump. You had no idea. You weren't sure it would be for you, but at least you tried. Let's at least have a glance and see how it goes. So I love that. Really love that. So I feel you're probably not necessarily in the right container, but at least maybe a right container. And I'm sure you will find like-minded peeps here. But you'll get to decide, right? You'll get to make your own mind around that. But I really appreciate your share. Thank you, Herbert.
Thank you.
So now. And so the idea also, like the follow-up of that, now that we've deepened relationships with friends, which is already a massive win in my book, right? Just that could be like the end of this exercise. To me, it would be like game one, good, let's move on. No, actually, let's build upon that. Let's build bridges and connect what you explored with your friends with yourself and with your connections. And yeah, same. So I will go a little bit faster, and actually you will be able to see that. If you want, I can share the that page with you. But yeah, just a few examples. It could be about yourself. How does this relate to my own story? What that other person shared, that new depth you explored. How does this relate to myself? How can I integrate this into my own life? What lessons can I draw from their answer? And really reflecting back to you and to your relationship with yourself. Or it could be, I will go on the other way, the off tracks. Which of my friends would like to try this? Should I connect them? And would I like to join them, actually? You know, and study to create really a synergy based on one activity or not necessarily activity. Once again, activity is a very powerful way to connect, but they are already friends of yours. So you already have a good enough level of trust. Actually, you might want to explore their pain and their sorrow and their traumas. Maybe you're at that point of the relationship and maybe they are looking for someone to share that with. So you could decide to open that door if you feel it's okay. And if they decide to play along, and actually you could be like, hey, you know what? All right. So you had issues with alcoholism, for example. And guess what? I did too, or maybe some of my loved ones. And I have other friends that have known that as well. Maybe we could actually gather and share experiences with that. You know, you could create something, not necessarily around something fun and positive and joyful, but also about healing together. Joining with other people and really creating a healing journey all together. Or something in between, like you decide. It's your life, it's your friendships. You decide how you go. I don't know if it makes sense, but I love playing with activities and hobbies and passions, but it's not the only way. There are many beautiful ways to play with that. And just a last example, so with your connections, would any of my connections benefit from this, what that person just shared? How could I share it with them? Through a story, an analogy, connecting them so they can share directly, etc. So those are different ways to build bridges. Hope you like those ideas. Now, I would like to give you actually an interesting demonstration of social alchemy and friendship at work. So this is Dorothea, and actually Dorothea is with us today. And she's one of my new friends. We've connected over LinkedIn. She's a productivity fairy from Germany. She's a business and life mindset coaching. And recently she ran a challenge of hers. And it was the Action Taker Challenge. And unfortunately, I couldn't join the challenge. I was very busy creating, my content for my masterclass, so I couldn't join. But she sent me some of the material she used for that challenge. And actually, coincidentally, I listened to the very first meditation she shared while I was waiting for funerals. I was going to attend the funerals of my first love, actually. So I was in, let's say, a chaotic state, emotionally speaking. And I listened to her meditation, and it was so soothing. It was extremely powerful experience. And actually, I would love for you to enjoy that experience as well, as we will go from reflection to action. Because that's the thing, Dorothea, in her challenge, was really helping others get into action, become action takers, and really move the needle forward in their life. So how would you like to listen to that meditation? Yeah? Are you on board? Awesome. Oh, oops.
Find a quiet and comfortable space to sit down. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths allowing yourself to fully relax. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing fresh air to energize and calm your body. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Releasing any tension or stress with each breath. Remember that you're taking the time for yourself to slow down and do something positive for you. Take a moment to observe the endless possibilities and opportunities that lie ahead. Isn't it exciting to think about the growth and progress that awaits you in both your personal and professional life? Envision yourself in the future. You are safe. You are living your best life. Feel the sense of fulfillment and joy that comes with living the life you are truly meant to live. You are safe to do whatever you like to do. What do you notice? Next, think about a task or goal that brings you closer to your dream reality. Which task have you been avoiding till now to get there? Trust your gut and go with the first idea that comes to mind. Let's take a look at the potential outcomes together. Consider the wide range of approaches and possibilities to achieve your goal. What steps can you take to move forward? Allow yourself to brainstorm freely without judgment or limitation. Focus on selecting one goal that resonates with you, regardless of how small or unimportant it may seem. Trust that this goal is meaningful and aligned with your growth and success. Visualize taking action. Imagine yourself confidently and positively taking action towards your chosen goal. Imagine overcoming obstacles with ease and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. You chasing your dreams. An exciting adventure you are well prepared for, living in the moment, being alive and full of energy and inner calmness. Feel the gratitude for the opportunity to set and pursue your goals. Feel the strength and courage within you. You can pursue any dream you wish. You are worth to do whatever you do, and you are so powerful. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back to the present moment. Take with you a feeling of empowerment and inspiration to work towards your goals.
Welcome back. How was it? I see a heart. I see smiles. So anyone would like to give some feedback, really quick feedback? Oh, I see a rain of hearts, which is a great sign. So I don't see anyone. The chat. Actually, we'll check the chat really quick. Oh, Micah Shabrana, Big Dog Mike, join us. Thank you for joining, Mike. Right. She's absolutely awesome. And now I would love to link it to social alchemy. So Dorothea, Doro, she's a new friend of mine. And I was extremely tight on time to prepare for this challenge. So actually, I asked her if she would be okay to let me use her meditation. So it would cut me some time, it would save me some time. So it was a big benefit for my professional life. And by doing that, and she very generously accepted. At the same time, now she's having extra visibility for her work. You never heard about Dorothea before. No, you know her. And actually, maybe one of you live today or watching the replay might be interested in connecting with Dorothea and maybe even working with Dorothea at some point because you feel you could enjoy some help taking action. So this friendship is benefiting my professional life as well and her professional life as well, potentially. Do you see the social alchemy at work? And guess what? A few months ago, we were merely connections on LinkedIn. So, and plus, once again, I was just before funerals, just listening to this meditation brought a lot of goodness and a lot of soothing and calm into my life. So it also benefited my relationship with myself in a time where I needed it. So once again, social alchemy. That's how I see it. So I hope you see and enjoy that concrete application. And if you'd like to know more about Dorothea, she's just shared her name, her link on Instagram. So she's mostly on Instagram, and I definitely invite you to look her up. She's absolutely amazing. You heard her voice. Hopefully, Dorothea, you will join us for the networking event on Thursday. And yeah, you might enjoy connecting with her as much as I enjoyed connecting with her. All right, so let's continue. So taking action, right? It was the idea. So, and I will go very quick. So the idea is for you to actually, practically, concretely exploring new paths with your friends. And like yesterday, I invite you to choose your play style. If you want to go easy, medium, hard, or even hardcore. So I gave you a few examples to how to do that, starting with your friends and then connecting that with yourself and with your connections. And so a few ideas. You could, once again, once you just dip your little toes in the water, just start with one new path. So just connecting with one friend and choosing either going deeper or going off tracks. And then if, for example, they share an activity, you ask them about a passion on an activity they enjoy, try it yourself. And ideally, with their guidance, ideally ask your friend to invite you. It would be back to the examples I mentioned. If you happen to be in Asia, around where Tommy lives, you could just go and connect with Tommy and ask him to lead you into Qigong, or connect in the US with Sarah Lynn and go and enjoy that glass blowing class together. Or you could, and then you can go with your connections and you just discovered a new activity thanks to your friend. Bring connections with you. Connect with connections. Who in your connections might benefit from that activity? Who might enjoy that? And even better, who would like to join you starting this new activity? How does it sound? How do you like that idea? And first, does it make sense so far? Yeah, awesome. And now, if you're feeling fancy, if you're feeling like, ooh, let's go beyond and further, you could go, hey, you know what? Let's go hard. 3 new paths. You could go ideally with 3 different friends, and exploring new facets of those friends and facets of your friendship. And then, yeah, and you might decide instead of going and discovering new passions, you might want to go deep and go something more intimate and more like dense. And you might see how you can learn from their experience. Go beyond this superficial friendship. And what you tend to do, just go and have fun and go and have drinks or maybe dance together and have laughs, and really go into very deep and serious conversations and really exchange around deep experiences and explore that for yourself. Go inward and see how can you grow yourself thanks to your friend's experience. And because going inward just by yourself might be tricky. It's not necessarily easy to really explore deeper layers of yourself just by yourself. You actually might ask them to assist you. You might ask them to ask you questions, to guide you in this process. And imagine how it could reinforce your relationship. If you invite one of your friends to guide you into knowing yourself better, imagine how it could reinforce your friendship at the same time. So just an idea. You don't have to, but it's just an invitation. And then another possibility, it could be sharing this path with 7 connections. Why 7? Because 7 is the number of days we have in a week. You could schedule 1 connection a day. You reach out to 1 connection a day and you share one of those new paths you explore. So this is my few ideas. I hope you like that. And we're still good on time. So these are 2 of my favorite strategies to reinforce your friendships. It's kind of a gift. It wasn't necessarily planned initially, but I want to share that with you. Just before I do that, I will keep it for the end. I just want to finish this presentation. So very first, if you would like support in this journey, I invite you to join our WhatsApp group. And actually, I should have the link. Do I have the link handy? Hopefully, I have it handy. Maybe not. Okay, I will share it later. So we have a WhatsApp group. So I already shared it in the emails, and it's absolutely not mandatory. And if you don't like WhatsApp groups, no worries. And I love that you're always feeling fancy, Mike. And yeah, we already have Tommy, Dorothea, and Jane. And the idea is to help you find accountability partners and support in this challenge. Because a challenge, guess what? A challenge is challenging. It's what a challenge tends to be, right? It will stretch you. It will trigger you. You will feel some resistance. So you better have someone having your back and helping you go through and go beyond this resistance. If you choose so, no pressure, you decide, but you might want to have someone to guide you and to help you. And if you want extra help until the end of this week, I invite you for a free game plan call and to really deeply implement social alchemy into your life. It will be a very fast-paced, very straight to the point, action-oriented call about how you could improve your relationship either with yourself, with your friends, or with your connections and your networking, and really create massive ripples in your own life. So I will guide you for free for 30 minutes. And you decide, once again, nothing mandatory, no pressure at all if you don't want to. No worries. It's just a gift for you until the end of the week if you choose to go that way. Now, before we go, so we will see if we have extra time for questions. I'm okay to stay a little longer for questions. But first, I would love to to share with you those two strategies because they are absolutely game-changing in your friendship life. So very first, I don't know if you ever heard about that 8-minute club. And actually, it's based on research. Apparently, all you need, in most cases, on average, is 8 minutes with a friend listening to you whenever you don't feel good. Whenever you feel like, oh, I'm under the weather, today I'm feeling like a wreck. On average, you only need 8 minutes of having a friend listening to you, venting out, sharing what's happening to you. 8 minutes. You obviously can go over, right? If they have extra time, and if you have extra time, you absolutely can have go beyond that. But 8 minutes on average is all you need. And actually, there is a very interesting way to play with that. You can create that as a kind of secret code between a few select people. And you can create your own 8-minute club. And the idea is having a few people, like maybe 5 or 10 people tops, that whenever you reach out to them and you ask them, do you have 8 minutes? It means I need you. I really could use your support right now. And obviously, you don't expect them to be available because we are busy. Most of us are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. So you can't expect all your friends to be available. But hopefully, in these 5 to 10 people, part of your 8-minute club, at least one of them will be available. Maybe not right now, but maybe in an hour or two. So by sending this message, do you have 8 minutes? You're actually very first showing up as vulnerable, and you're reaching out a hand without anyone else knowing what's going on. How do you like that idea? Having people that in a snap could just invest 8 minutes of their very precious time and maybe really get you off this slippery slope of a dark spiral track. And I'm pretty sure all of you at some point in your life have felt that way. That, you know what, today I need a hug. I need someone having my back. I need someone listening to me deeply. I'm not sure I will be able to go to the end of this day if I don't have someone having my back. Usually we can, right? We're much more resilient than we give ourselves credit. But I'm sure most of you already felt like that at some point in their life. Tommy, you wanted to say something or ask a question?
No, I was my thumb up, but I clicked something wrong.
Okay, no worries. So this is the 8-minute club. So I invite you to consider that. It's a very powerful strategy. And actually, I still have to implement that in my own life. I love this idea very, very much. It's extremely powerful. And then there is the very different side, what I call the layaways. It's kind of a play on word with gateways. So you know what gateways are, right? It's just escaping from the grind, escaping from the classical harsh reality, and just having fun and just breathe of fresh air. So why layaway? So it has been a tradition of a group of friends back in the days. We would go once or twice a year. We will rent a place in the mountains. We will all gather. We were like usually between 8 and 15, something like that on average. And we will take an entire weekend to gather, to feast. We're French, right? So we have a thing with food. To feast, to drink, to laugh, to play, to enjoy walks in nature, to be in our own lair, right? Like beasts, like lions or panthers or whatever you want, and just create powerful bonds. I have amazing memories of these weekends. I have created extremely profound relationships in these moments because we were all together. We were in this, magical state you tend to have in holidays, special days. But it's not with family. It's with friends. It's with chosen family. These are absolutely magnificent practices. So I invite you to consider that, having the right kind of friends to play with those special type of getaways. So those I call the layaways. I'm not sure it will stick. It doesn't sound so good in English, but you see the idea. What do you think? Any of you would like to play with one of those two? Maybe even two? Anyone would like to give some feedback? So actually I will stop sharing my screen so I can see your beautiful faces. And Doro, you love this idea. Love that. Thank you for sharing the WhatsApp group. Really appreciate. So you love the 8-minute club. Thank you so much for your feedback, Doro. So very first, we're almost at the top of the hour. So if you have to leave, probably right now would be the best time. And I deeply appreciate your joining us. It was a pleasure. So I hope you enjoyed this day 2 of the of this 3-day plus 1 challenge. So just before you leave, tomorrow will be about connections. Tomorrow will be all about networking and connections. Plus, we will have a special networking event on Thursday, and it will be 2 hours. And just to be clear, I don't expect anyone to stay for the 2 hours, except for myself, obviously. But the idea is you join for whatever time you have or you want, and I will make sure you enjoy valuable time and wonderful opportunities no matter how long you stay. Does it make sense? So it will start at 11 a.m. EST until 1 p.m. EST. And you join either at, the best would be to stay an hour. If you can't, you can, no worries. But if you can stay 1 hour, the best would be to join either at 11 EST or 12 p.m. EST. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And if any of you would like to stay a little bit longer, if you have any feedback or question, I'm happy to stay a little longer, like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. So if you have to leave, thank you again. For the rest of you, the floor is open if you have any questions. Yeah, nice. I love that you enjoy that idea of a layer. You'll see that's absolutely magical, and the more you go into that, and once again, it's the French way. We tend to gather around food and around drinks, and yes, alcoholic drinks. So I'm not saying it's for everyone. You don't have to go that way. To me, it adds an extra edge. Obviously, it wouldn't be for everyone. I'm absolutely not doing the not apology, but the I'm not saying it's a good thing, right? It's part of my culture. I can't help it, right? Alcohol is part of the French culture, whether I like it or not. But actually, there is a famous French sociologist that say that wine is a social lubricant, right? It's kind of ingrained in the French culture. And in so many cultures. No, alcohol is still a poison for your body. It still has many negative effects, right? So please be conscious if you drink. So I'm really not saying you should do that. And if you do, please be extremely conscious and mature and adult. So
thank you very much, Kevin. I just wanted to drop out, but 2 great ideas. I think I like the 8-minute club. I actually saw it on LinkedIn yesterday, was by somebody talking about it. And I thought, hey, that's such a nice idea, but it's great to see that it's more widely adopted or being spread. So that's one I will explore. I don't know if I have enough friends to form a group to go and somewhere to have a weekend off. But I think that's a good idea to work towards. And I guess it also works well if it's not 8 people, maybe even 3 or 4 is already enough to start with. So I'm going to be exploring the idea as well. But wanted to thank you very much, and I'll be back and join you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your feedback. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And absolutely, you're very welcome to join us tomorrow as well. Happy to have you tomorrow. Thank you, Herbert.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Herbert.
Bye-bye.
So it's just us. We are a very small container. So if any of you have any questions, so Caroline, you just unmuted. So I assume you might have something to share.
Well, I wanted to again, thank you so much, Kevin. I really like the 8-minute. I've always, well, not always, but often over the decades, I provide odd times to meet with people. And I'll usually, it's like, well, let's just talk 7 minutes, you know, that the meeting will be. So the 8-minute, I really like quite a bit. So thank you so much for that. And I do like the kind of like your take on the getaway. I love that interaction of what you do with your friend, what you have done with your friends, including the food and everything like that. And that's wonderful. That's just really some great, wonderful insights and nuggets of life that you've provided today. So thank you.
You're so very welcome. And yeah, like those strategies, I was like, should I share them? Of course, like they're so yummy. No, it was just more about time management, right? And exactly as I said, as I shared yesterday, I tend to go beyond and over deliver, right? And go just very heavy on content. So this time around, I was like, okay, I should be very conscious about that and very cautious about it. But these ones I really wanted to share. So I'm happy that you're resonating.
Yeah, it really has. I also like the fact that you bake too. So that definitely resonates with me. So very much so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Kevin, hi. How are you doing?
Of course, I'm good. How are you, Rahel?
No, sorry, I missed the first session yesterday, but I got the recording. I'll watch it. You know, I got your email late because today is a holiday for some reason. An unexpected holiday, which we all enjoyed in Pakistan. So it's always. I've worked in French market for 6 years. I was in textiles. So I had Lara Dou. Lara Dou is a famous French brand, right? Yeah, so I was manufacturing their, weddings and curtains and all those items. So I was interested about this 8 minutes idea, which Augusto was also just talking about. So I was wondering if it's going to be on WhatsApp or is it for LinkedIn? I mean, can you explain that a bit?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So actually, why not that? Why not doing a WhatsApp group? So I don't necessarily envision that way, because that's the thing. This 8-minute club, there is a big vulnerability component. It means at that point, you're like, hey, you know what, guys? I'm not at my top right now. I'm not at the very best. And many people, especially like business owners, entrepreneurs, they want to keep that image of strength, of being at the top of everything. So some people might be kind of have mixed feelings around that. Like, I like that idea, but will I really feel like playing with that? Like every time you play with that, you might send the wrong signal. Like I've shared in other containers, I have depression, right? I have chronic depression. I'm neurodivergent. It comes with the spice, the neurospice. So I have a tendency to enjoy depression, which for the longest time I felt like a deep flow. To me, it was a deep stigma, and I felt deeply ashamed of sharing that. To me, I felt if I shared that, I would seem like a liability. Like people won't trust me because of that. They will feel like, okay, that man is weak and could just snap in at any point. So they wouldn't trust me for anything, and I would miss opportunities for that. So for the longest time, I felt no, I better not share that. I better keep it for myself. And I know many people have hard time with vulnerability. So now I'm on the other side of that. I'm actually a vulnerability advocate because I've seen how powerful vulnerability is. And actually by sharing your shortcomings, it's liberating. You're realizing, hey, you know what? Most people actually embrace that. They're cheering you up. They celebrate you for your bravery. And yes, a few of them will reject you for that. But actually, it's worth losing a few people in the battle and win the hurt of so many things to being authentic and genuine. But this is me, right? I'm not pushing my beliefs on anyone. I advocate for a vulnerability, but I'm not a proselyte, right? I'm not expecting anyone to embrace it as well. So back to your question, I feel that doing a WhatsApp group, when you would do that in front of several people at once, maybe it won't work that well. Maybe it would be best to be kept in one-to-one communication. And even if you send it to several people at the same time, but actually keep the line separated. But that would be my choice. And for respect, because some people might feel uneasy with that, to show that kind of vulnerability in front of others. No, maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe actually your idea of a WhatsApp group is absolutely phenomenal. And you know what? If you feel it might be a good idea for you, I invite you to try it and actually tell us how it go. So that would be a very interesting experience. The only thing is you really want everyone on board. And once again, like if in the group, every 2 days, the same person is asking for help, it might, some kind of send mixed feelings to other people, and it could kind of disrupt the point of the group. You see what I mean? So there are possibilities that the experience would go wrong somewhat. Actually, it could go very right. So I don't know. I don't know if my answer makes sense.
I think we can always just try on and, the point is to be there for your friend, right? And why not use all the channels, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, maybe even Facebook, let's, if you want to be friends, let's connect on all platforms.
But no, and really once again, when you share that, I was kind of, processing that idea in real time. So yeah, I have kind of mixed feelings. I love that idea. I love a kind of an ideal world where it would be seamless and it would be a beautiful way to really bring powerful support to others. And there is a part of me that feels like, yeah, you know what, it might go wrong somewhat, but yeah, maybe I'm absolutely, maybe just my own story, my own traumas taking over. And actually, you might be on something very, very powerful. So if you feel like it, just, yeah, be my guest and play with that. I would love to know how it goes, actually.
It's your baby. I think should maybe let you decide whatever. But you did mention a WhatsApp group. So I guess, WhatsApp is something which is very fast. I mean, and the video works pretty fine here. It's free almost everywhere. So I guess, and you can always put it on silent or, block people if somebody's bothering you. So you've got all the controls. That's the beauty of a computer. You don't, you have the power to shut off people. So there will be troublemakers always,
Yeah.
But then, the idea is to help each other, to be there for someone. And maybe I read the word business a lot in your intro for this meetings. And I was hoping, I would probably find more people to have, because I do work in global market and textile, and I'm in business development as well. So so that it would work either ways for both business and pleasure for friendship and because I'm also a music composer.
Oh,
I
nice.
shared my music with you as well. I don't know if you had time to listen to it. but I composed it for France. You know, I have this habit of producing music for countries. Like I produced one for NASA because I'm a big astronomy, fan. You know, I got a telescope. I keep, buying and selling telescopes, and I'm also for producing music. So I produced one for Japan, one for China, and so sadly, this one for France was when France was attacked by extremists, and I felt really bad because being a Muslim, it's it just sort of burns my blood. It makes me furious when when I heard terrorism and all those things. Being affiliated with Islam, and which is really all for peace. And I guess that's about it. So it's nice knowing you, and I've learned. We have talked before, right, on Superfreaks. So, and I saw a few other faces from Superfreaks. So I'm glad. I'm sure more people will join in tomorrow. And and what is the plan for these meetings? Are you going to be holding them every week, or are they going to be bi-weekly or monthly? What?
So no, yeah, it's a good question. So this is really a challenge. So it won't be a one-time challenge. I know I will run another one later on. I wanted. Actually, it's the first challenge I ever run. I like that idea to not just host a masterclass and not just give the theory and explain what social alchemy is, but really give an opportunity to play with it and really give an opportunity for people to have a taste, because like with that concept of social alchemy, it's bringing so much joy and goodness in my life. I'm like, come on, guys, come and join the fun. Like, I want you to enjoy that as well, because to me, it's bringing incredible goodness in my life. So I shared already a few examples. I will just give you another one. So I will be absolutely unavailable all month of June, because I landed an amazing in-person gig. I will be guiding teenagers from the US and Canada, discovering Paris, London, and Barcelona. And I will be beautifully be paid for that. It would be so much fun. It will be an amazing experience, interaction, an opportunity to share my own culture and other cultures I love, which are the British culture and the Spanish culture, and actually in the culture from Catalonia, which is different from regular Spain. So
I have the Indian culture. What do you think about the Indian culture? We live like Indians.
I landed that gig thanks to friendship. Once again, it's all social alchemy. Once again, my friendships impacted directly my professional life. It's bringing me massive business opportunities thanks to my friendships, right? So it's really how I see social alchemy working. So when I'm saying that by playing with social alchemy, you really can impact both your personal life and your professional life. I know it sounds like a snake oil selling, but actually it's true. It's what I'm living for real, right? So it sounds too good to be true, but it's actually a fact. A fact, at least in my
little business on the side always helps. There's no problem with that. If you could find some trade link or develop some kind of business, why not?
Yeah. And like, especially when it's a fun business, which also bring you good money. Like, of course I want that. Like, enjoying business, which is very fun. Yes, very intense, but very fun to do. And plus bringing very good amount of money. And like, of course, sign me in. So yeah, that's another example. So now I really have to go, but thank you so much for participating and for your wonderful questions. I don't know
you, Kevin.
if Taroline, you have another question or a feedback before we leave.
I just want to say thank you, and also Rahil, I would probably mispronounce your name, and my apologies. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, because I did have a conversation with a big group of people maybe a week or two ago, specifically about textiles, of how it is the best thing to invest in and why, because AI can't take it over, and textiles are used always from everything. So I'd love to continue a conversation with you, and I love the fact that you're a composer in music too. It's just fascinating. So
See?
Yeah.
Where are you from, USA? Where are you from?
I currently live in Florida in
Oh.
Palm Beach. Yeah, yeah.
I have a sister in Houston. I have a sister
Okay.
in London as well, yeah. She was here.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, he studied in Dallas. He's been in Dallas he's been there for about 40 years. My sister,
Okay.
she's a Canadian now. She's a Canadian now. She's been in Canada for like,
Ah, my
I don't think she
family,
got married.
I'm from Texas. I'm originally from Texas, so all
Oh.
my big parts of my family are in Houston. So that's awesome.
I want to
So
go
that,
to Texas. I love because it's the weather is very similar to Karachi where I live.
yeah, it's
So I wanna
very
move to-
similar to Florida too. It's just hot and humid and, you know, sweaty. I
love
love it.
Americans. They're very friendly people, and I don't know. So I'm often confused because I choose to speak like Americans. My kids speak American, so I don't know. Because it's the same, living in a third world country is not easy. There are limited resources here. We all want to
Yeah.
like Indians and Pakistanis. They want to move abroad, for countries like New World, like Canada or Australia or US. So anyway, nice meeting you. We'll definitely connect and
It was
really have something.
pleasure to meet you, and we'll continue. Kevin, thank you. We'll see each other tomorrow for sure in a few hours. All
Absolutely.
right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Take
and
care.
enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for the ones watching the replay. If you watch until this end, we really appreciate it.
Perfect.
Bye. See you
Bye-bye,
tomorrow.
everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.